And we continue getting some expert insight on the key races this afternoon. Joining us now is Dr. Sarah Treul, a professor of political science at UNC. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you, Sarah. We know that women's reproductive rights are at the top of the ballot in the race for the White House. That has put a lot of focus on the female vote this election season. What are you noticing about how the candidates are trying to dial in on that?
Great. Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate the opportunity. The female vote is incredibly important in this presidential election cycle, both at the top of the race, but also down ballot as well. We're seeing both candidates, former President Trump and Vice President Harris, really zoom in on this issue. We hear Harris's campaign frequently speak about women's reproductive freedom and how this is a core issue, actually following many Republican and conservative talking points in the area of making government step outside and not overregulate women's reproductive freedom and choices. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has also been speaking to women directly, saying that we must protect women and really doubling down on that talking point, especially in the most recent days.
So what other trends have you seen also coming out of early voting, and how do you think it will translate to Election Day tomorrow?
Yeah, this is a great question. So the state of North Carolina is very much in play. Most polls, both national and state, seem to indicate that it is a tied race at this moment. What we're seeing right now in North Carolina is likely the party's internal polling is suggesting the same thing, with both candidates spending a lot of their final days here in North Carolina, as well as many surrogates from their campaigns spending time here in North Carolina. I think it won't be surprising to really look to women to see how they vote here in the state, and that could be the difference in deciding this election. So far, the early vote seems to favor women. Women turned out in North Carolina at a slightly higher rate than men. I believe it was about 52% of women turning out during the early voting period. But that being said, women turned out at even higher rates back in 2020. So we'll have to see if women keep voting that way. That also being said, we can't take women's votes for granted with regards to what way they're going to vote. Women join both political parties, and certainly women helped propel former President Trump to the presidency back in 2016. And only time will tell if that remains the case, or if it's more like 2020 when women helped send Joe Biden nationwide back to the White House.
And we will soon know. Before we let you go, what do you think about North Carolina's role as a battleground state?
It's always exciting to be a battleground state. It gives you attention from both campaigns, which even though it might seem like too much at other times, it's important to remember that there are states out there that never see a single political ad and never have the attention of either candidate. So North Carolina being a battleground state and being such a diverse state in all senses of the word, including our partisanship, is incredibly exciting, particularly as a professor at the University of North Carolina.
Exciting and very busy leading up to Election Day. Dr. Sarah Treul, professor of political science at UNC, appreciate your insight. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.